So, welcome to this presentation. My name is Daniel Saldana and I'll be giving this presentation about the SMA Prog, which is a software for program maintenance. These is our canvas, so as we can see, and we will talk about this, we have key partners as Microsoft, SQL licensing, and Wackill Chambers of Commerce. There are key activities. We have software development, product testing, product installation, marketing, and sales. In key resources, we have computers. Well, we need computers and smartphones and internet service. Also, software developers and renting small offices. There's also, besides internet services, that we will need utility service. Our value proposition will help reduce costs and maintenance for companies, reports in PDF, and Power Business Intelligence. It's a friendly and easy to use interface. The customer relationships will be support service, low cost use of Microsoft service, and asking for referrals. And our channels will be by page, social media, Microsoft Teams, AnyDesk, and payment for transfers. And our customer service, it's kind of like a little big about that, but it pretty much I will cover industrial companies, hospitals, hotels, service providers, and transportation companies, because pretty much I can say that every company that exists could use this software. Also, our cost structure, we're talking about $40 internet service, $75 utility, and we're also talking 1,500 Microsoft licensing. We're talking not only about Microsoft licensing in our development softwares, but also in Office 365, $1,500 to pay employees. And our revenue stream, we can say $300 per month. This includes the support service of $15 assured cloud and storage, and $4,000 per perpetual ownership of the software. So pretty much we'll start with partners. In a partner environment, this could be according what we can increase as we grow as a business and sales that we make. The software developers will be just students from universities that are studying software development, especially the ones that are in the last year of school. We also will need Microsoft licensing, so they could become a partner with us because they sell good software development softwares, and the licensing for SQL and Visual are good ones for our software. And of course, the chambers of commerce. If you go inside these chambers of commerce, you could talk, and you have a list of a lot of companies that are associated with this chamber of commerce. Then the key activities, as we can see, I kind of do that little map here. The software development will be in Visual and the SQL services, or MySQL services also for desktop software, and also .NET interface. The developers and I could, or even I could run the test about the software. We need to test the software so we can be sure that the software doesn't give any problems when we sell them to the clients. But we also would like to launch an MVP to 3 companies that will also help us to test the software. And it could be a good intention where we can have a lot of people testing and then trying to fix some bugs or fix some problems that the software may have. Then the installation, of course, the installation of the software, and then after the installation it's made, and we can launch a database about the assets that will include in the software, and then of course marketing and sales. Of course, we'll be in charge of promote the software and also search for companies that would like to buy the software. And then our key resources, we have, I point out 4 ones. The human one, which will be the software developers and the salesperson. And also the financial ones will be the website building. The intellectual will be the knowledge that we require as we launch the software, and not only that, but also And the physical one, which will include computers and smartphones, the internet service, the utility, and also a small office where we can work. Then our customer segments, this includes, like I said, it could be any company, but I set up 5 companies or 5 types of customer segments that could use the software. First one, industrial companies with more than 100 assets that will good maintenance for reliable work. And then we have also hospitals. These are important because they have medical equipment that needs or requires to be in maintenance for any inconvenience that could happen. So they need this. They need the software that could help them keep a good maintenance on their equipment. The hotels, of course, these maintenance helps to have a good hotel and have the customers and raise the rentability of the hotels. Then the service providers, they could use this as a tool for their clients because they give these services. They can have these contracts with companies that will help them to tell them, hey, your equipment needs or your assets needs maintenance, and they can do it through this software. Of course, the transportation companies, which include vehicles, trains, ships, trailers. It could be any type of transportation that pretty much will need and requires maintenance for a good usage of it. And of course, our customer relationship will be the support services. Of course, after you obtain the software, you can pay monthly $300, and this includes a lot of things, like for example yearly updates, discounts on customer developments, no cost requirements, and more, and often, right? This also includes the licensing for by Microsoft, where you can have access like Word, Excel, even Outlook services through the email of a company. And the referrals, if a company likes our services, our software, we will have referrals, and this is a very important thing. We can build a relationship with our customers. The channels, well, there's a lot of channels, but one of them will be websites where you can pay their software, the social media, Microsoft Teams, even AnyDesk. But also, I did include here the bank transfers, but we can also work on that for clients that would like not to pay with credit cards, because we're talking about big companies and they would like to make transfers. So this could be also an option. And of course, the value proposition, our pains. Companies don't give the right importance to the assets maintenance, the highly cost of corrective maintenance due to the lack of preventing maintenance, the evidence and storage of information on the cloud reduce not the not use of paper or their own server space. Companies can save, well, our gains will be the companies can save up to 20% maintenance using maintenance software. I did kind of like a with a construction company, how much they spend on maintenance, and how can they pretty much reduce that, because they did a lot of corrective maintenance and was a lot of expensive. So this could reduce to 20%. We can extend the useful life of equipment with preventing maintenance policies by up to 30%, and also systemize the planning of preventing the corrective maintenance task in order to minimize the risk of breakdowns, unexpected stop, and reduce repair costs. And the jobs, of course, quickly obtain maintenance and repairs history when their costs, repair times, documentation associated with the work, levels of responsibility. They allow the generation of large number of data and statistics related to the asset control and maintenance management. The total companies in Ecuador, of course, doing a market sizing analysis, we're talking about 51,000 companies in Ecuador since 2016. There could be more. There is not too much information about how many companies, because they haven't done a census about companies in Ecuador. I hope they do, so we can have a big number. But of course, if we kind of split up this, we have in agriculture, we have 100 big companies. Then we're talking about hotels and food services, 100 companies, commerce, 200 big companies, and 100 financial strong companies. Construction, 100 companies, utility, 50 companies, communications, we're talking about 50 companies. Manufacturer 300 companies, oil and mines 50 companies, in transportation and storage we're talking about 100 companies. I take this data because these are the big companies. We're talking about companies that are financially strong and that could use the software. Then our revenue stream will be 300 per month. If the client will like this service, monthly service, I will charge them 300 per month. But this also could use, if the clients will like a cloud storage, they can pay $15 for a short cloud storage. Then of course $4,000 for perpetual ownership. We're talking about that if a company will like just the software, including the installation, implementation, and training, they will have to pay $4,000. These costs are based upon the Ecuadorian economy, so it's not about the U.S. economy, which could be a more expensive one. But our cost structure then will be on internet. I will spend like $40, utilities $70. The developers, I will hire 2 developers for $500 each person. We're talking about $1,000, and then sales $500. But this salesperson could gain more if they sell the software. Of course, the monthly Microsoft service which will include $125, and this gives us a total of $1,000, $735. These not include the Azure storage with Microsoft just run by itself, and for the cost structure. And the market type, it's a new market type in Ecuador. There is some existing markets, but outside Ecuador, we're talking about SAP, which is worldwide known. There's other softwares that are RPs, but they are not just as mains program, but they have incorporated some parts of it for the mains area. Of course, in Chile and Brazil, there are some softwares that are specialized in mains, but I don't think they're complete. And of course, a new market, Ecuador and some parts of Latin America. Our customer segment, I would just talk about one because these can implement it in every company. We're talking about the companies that have assets, and for example, in this case, for industrial, we're talking about assets for product development and various systems like electrical and water supplies. But we could talk about air conditioner. We could talk about medical field with medical products, with medical equipment. For hotels, we're talking about cleaning up rooms. We're talking about cleaning some things. Also the electrical system. Every company has an electrical system. So, and pretty much the machines that are required to be stopped and then requires maintenance. It's something that when you buy something, you buy the assets that require maintenance. The instruction manual tells you when you need to give the maintenance to the equipment. Of course, the customer in context, you have the customer to know what the maintenance of their assets should take place in, and how much money it requires for spare parts and workforce. Like I said, our MVP could be launched to 3 companies, and the use of a platform for making preventive and correcting maintenance. There was a client that pretty much really liked this software because it tells them when the preventing maintenance should take place, on what time and what date, and it was a good advice that the program should also run other kind of maintenance that are shown up every time. But then the use of Power BI also help them to see the reports about what happened during the maintenance, how much they spend on that maintenance. So what's a very easy way to look upon this information, and of course the training how to use the software. Then our early evangelists, of course, were some industrial companies because they need softwares, because there are company audits that make them or give them international certifications, which obligates the companies to have a main software, because one of the things that the certification requires is that you have a maintenance program, or you have a maintenance program, not only software but also what are you doing with your equipment. For example, the hospitals also require certifications for being a good hospital, and of course they earn money because of that. Of course, our channels goes to from companies. Then the companies pay online or by transfer to gain this SM product, right? To be installed in their in their storage, or if they want a cloud storage, they could use also for. I'm talking about the own service or a server that are on the clouds. And of course, key partnership Microsoft because of licensing as we develop the software, and also not only about that, but give it another type of business to our clients, which will be Office 365, which is a big a product for Microsoft, and also the local chambers commerce, because we need that clients. If we associate with them, we make a partnership with them, it will help us to obtain a list of companies where we talk directly, not to just a worker, but to managers that will like this software. And of course, their process map. We're about obtaining the software, the implementation of the software and database, training and software delivery, and the customer support. And finally, the SWOT analysis, the strength, having a software that will help customer have an economical control on their maintenance they do, and offer clients improvement on how to save money in the control of maintenance. This includes spare parts and companies can use. The weakness, of course, financially is a big weakness for having a good marketing research team. And then, of course, the threats, having revenues that will help the company keep on good place. So, pretty much, this is our company. This is what we actually believe in that could help companies. Companies love to be in a good shape, love to save money, and this is one of the ways where companies can save money. Thank you.